It's a lost cause, it's a bad bet,
As you sort of reach the second half of the album, or the last half of the album, a lot of the themes have to do with, like, coming to terms with certain things and like healing from things, and just really like an honest acceptance. I think acceptance is a huge theme on this album, and Let Me Down is one of those songs where I'm just kind of accepting the reality of a certain relationship that was no longer a relationship. And I think I was holding on to certain threads of that, or like frayed ends of that relationship, for a long time. And this song was just the realization that, this person ultimately let me down and I let them down, and that, on one end is okay, and on the other end, it sucks, but like, it just is what it is, and it was the reason that we couldn't be together, I guess. And there's a sense of freedom in that realization, I think, just knowing, like, you let me down. I don't really know a ton about relationships. I've only been in, like, a handful of situations surrounding that end of things, but I would say, you can't, no matter how much you try, you can't love someone into loving you back the right way, and no amount of love and no amount of things that you can give to somebody, can make them give the same back to you. You just can't expect you from someone else. That's just not the way it works. Everybody has different ways of loving. Everyone has things that they're dealing with that might look very different from you, and you can't necessarily take it out on those people or on yourself. That's just life. This is just that realization of that, like, I tried, you let me down, I probably let you down too, but I'll just like keep our relationship sacred and what we had sacred, and it doesn't need to be tainted by what happened afterwards. That thing can still live in, the ether somewhere, and it does, no matter, how many things end in life, they existed and they were real. And I think as a songwriter, it's wonderful to get to encapsulate those times and make them feel even more real by having them in a place that can stay and live, So that's what this song is, but it's really liberating to have that, because you're sort of just going ahead and not looking back. And that acknowledgement for me was really hard to say out loud. Telling someone that they let you down is hard to say, but it's the truth, and this album is definitely rooted in truth. So it stings, but it's the reality of life.